Welcome back to Corner Stories. Please enjoy the stories of the day. Hit that like and subscribe button and let's get on to story 1. My GF, 28F, and I, 30M, met in our small hometown where we both had family and friends. She was happy and thin then. I moved to the city where all my best friends moved to, and I asked her if she was willing to come along. She was very hesitant at first but said sure if I'll pay for her monthly necessities until she finds a job. For a year she couldn't find anything. It was always callbacks that didn't pan out, or she's overqualified for some of the jobs she applied for. She gained so much weight in that time. And I'm honest. I lost interest in her. She wasn't the happy thin girl I fell in love with. She finally got a job. And stopped complaining that she was lonely. She started jogging again. Dressing up even when she was just at home and just looking good. I got a new job in another city, close to my extended family but even farther away from hers than we are now, and I know she can't stay here alone with her salary. So she will have to move with me. She was sad and mad about it. And TBH, we did fight a little. She said she's finally found something that she feels a part of and she's making actual friends. I do feel bad about that, but she knows how unhappy I was in my current position. I maybe should have talked to her about this job and hear her out, but I was just so unhappy. She said but now she's going to be unhappy again, and I told her she'll manage like she did when we lived here. Since she gave her notice. She's been wearing 2 bracelets. And I have a feeling they are from this guy she met at work. He's not the most attractive guy, but the two of them are very similar. They have the same interests and she seems to talk to him a lot. I don't like it at all. They went out for coffee. I was invited and said no. But it went on for 2 hours and then he invited us to hang out with him and his friends before the move. She was so excited. Saying that finally she has friends that wants to invite her places and she doesn't have to tag along with me. And it pissed me off how excited she was about it. I told her I don't like her talking to this guy. Her first reaction was to tell me she doesn't like it when I talk to a specific gamer girl buddy of mine that I find attractive, so why can't she talk to this guy that she truly just sees as a friend? I told her it's different. I'm not the one going to sit alone during the day at home and chatting with this girl. She'll have all the time in the world to text this guy now. Then she said she gets that, but I'm probably going to ignore her like I did here and come home and game. So why can't she have a friend she enjoys talking to? And that pissed me off. I was working providing for us. I wasn't in the mood to come home and talk to her or go someplace with her on weekends. I just wanted to game. I told her as long as I'm the only one providing for us she can't complain what I decide to spend my time on. Additional info: we've been together for 7 years. And in those 7 years we've moved 3 times for my job. I am the first to admit that every time we move my GF always has a very hard time getting a job because she has a very niche qualification. She's extremely smart and hardworking, I definitely give her that. But unfortunately every time she does manage to find a job, a few months later we'd have to move again for mine. And the jobs that she does find doesn't have good enough salaries for her to live on her own. She tried living with a roommate, stranger, once, but that scared her mentally and she doesn't want to do that again. Now the problem. After 8 months of working cashier jobs she finally found a job she liked and that paid more than the cashier jobs. She was so excited. She loved the people, the work she was doing, not in her field, and she stopped being depressed. I could see the weight coming of her face becoming clear. She looked like a different person. But this job also doesn't pay her well enough for her to live in that city alone. It was the most expensive city in our country. She made a really good friend there. A male co-worker. I didn't really have a problem with it. They didn't hang out after work. But once she gave in her resignation things changed. All of then sudden he wanted to take her out to coffee and grab cocktails. Mind you, I was invited every time. She was sad at one point where I said WTF would I want to go, and then I started to see the bracelets. She said it was friendship bracelets from the guy. She was honest and upfront about them. I lost my shit. I told her she's not allowed to see him or wear the bracelets ever again. And she looked at me and said, I'm moving to a fucking city 4 hours away from any family. We lived an hour from her family. She visited them as much as she could. Close to your family. I'm probably going to be seen as a free babysitter again. She's very good with my cousin's autistic child, and I'm probably going into a depression again. So give me this one ray of fucking sunshine I have left. She stormed out. She's only spoken to me a few times since then. We have moved. And we've been in the new city for 2 days now. And apart from unpacking, she's been laying in bed, scrolling on her phone. With the bracelet still on. She hasn't even begun to search for a job or anything yet. And her clothing box is still packed. It's the only box still packed. I'm worried about this guy. If she's planning to move back to her parents. I don't know. I just hate this. So am I the asshole for taking away her one ray of sunshine? Edit 1, for everyone thinking we do not live together, we do. I pay for almost everything. When she doesn't have a job, her dad would help her out from time to time, and I'm grateful for that. With my job, I have to move to very expensive cities, and the salary that she's getting would only have her live in the bad areas of the cities. She lived with a roommate once and got scammed out of a lot of money, and she's afraid to go through that again. She wanted to stay in the first ever city we moved to, so that's why she had a roommate. Edit 2, I've shown my GF the post. And she got mad, to say the least. Asking me why I had time to post on Reddit but not have time to come and talk to her about it, and everyone telling me I'm the asshole. You're right. That one sentence made my heart break. I asked her if she fell in love with the guy and to truly tell me about the friendship bracelets. She did not fall in love with the guy. But it was the first real friend she made since we started moving, and she was just so excited to have a friend. The bracelets are stupid in her opinion, but it's the first thing she actually received since we started moving that wasn't necessities. She appreciates all the things I buy her, but it feels like I've forgotten that she's my girlfriend and she feels like she's a chore for me. Not someone special. So she did feel special when she received something that was given to her for just because. About the bag. She was scraping up the courage to come talk to me. She wants to move back to her parents at the end of the week. She does not want to live here. And when she said that, and after reading a lot of your comments, I realized I fucked up. She didn't even have the courage to come talk to me about this. I just assumed she'll follow me everywhere. She said she'll give it a month. But if the only job she can find is a cashier job, she's done. Because she can't anymore. And now, I'm crying. Relevant comments, and OP called them friendship bracelets, so I'm honestly curious if they're just string and plastic beads. OP, they are those cheap ones you can get at fairs. Wooden looking beads, and the other one is a black band with a silver pendant with a compass on it. If that's all it takes to make her so happy, it's reflective of how little you contribute to your relationship. Info: why do you keep saying she has to move for your job, but you keep talking about her unable to afford living alone? So you mean you make her move and she has to find her own place to live? I don't get that part. OP, my job requires me to move to very expensive cities. And if she does eventually find a job, the only apartments she can afford is in very bad areas. I don't require her to move out once she has a job. I just put that there for people wondering why she might keep moving around with me and not living on her own in the city we were residing in. So basically, she has to keep following you because she couldn't stay behind in the cities you would presumably leave her in when you moved? If you've gotten this far into the comments on this thread and still don't think you are TA, there is no saving you from your complete and delusional denial. I hope she moves back to her niche career and leaves you in the dust. Story 2. Basically, I was with this girl for a year and a half. I thought she was everything I was looking for and it was perfect. Then I found out she cheated on me with 2 other guys. As far as I know, it was nothing physical, but over text and possibly pictures. She had been through a lot before me and had diagnosed BPD. She would cut me off multiple times for 2 to 3 day stretches while we were dating, saying she needs a break and whatever else. I found out it was during these periods of time that she would message these guys and ignore me. After these, she would come back to me with a gift basket, apologizing profusely, etc. It was about 6 months in that I finally found out about the other 2 guys. She had been interacting with them and entertaining them. Saying some pretty sexual shit that still makes me sick to my stomach. Of course I was pissed and I left her house. That's when she started blowing up my phone, blaming it on the meds and that she meant nothing by any of it. OFC, I gave in and stayed with her. It seemed she really did try to change, but the trust for me was already broken. When I was away from her, it was just constantly, she's probably talking to those guys again, or other thoughts like that. If I brought up anything relating to it, she would get pissed and make me feel like a piece of shit for throwing it in her face. It just kept torturing me in the back of my mind. I was staying in this small shitty town for her and sacrificed a lot for her. I kept asking myself, why am I even doing all of this? I sacrificed so much and she knew I did, and she went and cheated. It's just so funny because all of her friends told me she was never a cheater and was always cheated on. Basically, Christmas was coming up and she also had a surgery coming up. With all of this welling up inside, I broke it off with her right before it. I didn't want her to spend another Christmas with my family. I didn't want to waste my family's time and money buying gifts for her. I just didn't want to fake a Christmas with her and break it off after. Of course she started sobbing and making me feel horrible, but I just felt like I had to get it done. She showed up on my doorstep at 3 a.m. the night I did it and waited out there for hours until I finally let her in to sleep on the couch. She even still got me an expensive Christmas gift after all of it. I just don't know if I'm the piece of shit here because she was very good at making me feel like it. To me it was just too little too late. Why wasn't she doing all of that at the beginning? Why did it take her cheating and me breaking up with her for her to actually try? Am I wrong for this? Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.